These are the 20 accessories you have to have for your Tesla Model Y and Model 3. Over 4 years of ownership of Model Y and Model 3, I've come to go through a lot of accessories, and these are the 20 that stood the test of time. Now, over those 4 years, I've had plenty of accessories come and go, and these 20 are the ones that are still here and that I'm using today. I've broken this down into 4 different categories to make this as easy for you as possible. First, the essentials, the things you're gonna have to have no matter which car you get and what your lifestyle is. Next, we're gonna talk about the fun stuff, the enhancements that you can do to your car to add a little bit of flavor to it. Then we're gonna talk about how to protect the car, and there are some things that you should consider in protection. And then finally, for those of you who are parents, I have a special category just for you. So make sure you stick around to the end. There's a ton in here that I'm excited to share with you. Again, over 4 years of ownership, these are the things that I still use today. Kicking things off with the first category here, we're gonna talk about essentials. The first thing you're gonna wanna get is mud flaps. And the reason is because of the shape of both the Model 3 and the Model Y, you actually have a really high chance of kicking up rocks and road debris up on the side of the car. The shape of the Model Y cuts in quite a bit, and that really gives you a high risk of hitting the side of the paint. Tesla even now includes some PPF for this back quarter just because of that. And for the Model 3, it's actually metal underneath, and some of the earlier Model 3s had rust issues because of this. Mud flaps are not that expensive, and Spigen has some really nice ones that I highly recommend. However, if you want to go with a more budget-friendly economy version, Basner also makes a set that you can take a look at as well. Next, it's on the inside. Some Teslas don't even come with carpet floor mats, and getting all-weather floor mats is a no-brainer. It gives you better protection, enhanced interior protection for your floors, and that's why I continue to use 3D Max Spider from day one. These are the best. They are kind of pricey, which is why, again, Basner, they also make a set that's a little bit more budget friendly. It's more of a TPE material, but if you're willing to spend the extra and get the 3D Max Spiders, these have held up extremely well. And they're not that traditional rubbery type material. It has a little bit of design to it. There's actually 2 different designs you can choose from, giving you a little bit nicer premium feel and look to the inside of your Tesla. Another thing that's kind of crazy to me is Tesla stopped shipping these cars without a center console a couple of years ago. So in your center console, there was a tray there that used to come with the car, and it doesn't anymore. So you have 2 areas where you're gonna wanna add a tray, and the reason is it really expands your ability to put useful storage in your car. Both the armrest and the center console, Spigen makes the best ones in my opinion. And of course, if you want something more budget friendly, a flocked material that's probably not going to look as great that long, Basner's got you covered there. And then finally, we have screen protectors. This wraps up essentials, just like your phone, this big screen right here. You wanna keep it from getting scratched. This is a very expensive screen actually, and I've had a screen protector on all of them. They're not that expensive, and it's a no-brainer. You've had a cell phone, you know why we put screen protectors on everything. This is no exception. Spigen's new screen protector actually has a super easy to use installation because of the way that they package it all together. There is a much cheaper version without the assisted hardware for installing this, and that's from Carwiner if you want to go a little bit more budget friendly. Now let's move on to the fun stuff, all the enhancements that you can add to add a little bit of flavor, a little bit of fun to the inside of your Tesla. First, we have wheel covers. If you have Gemini wheels in the Model Y or you have the Aero covers in the Model 3, wheel covers are a no-brainer. They're actually probably the #1 item you should get for your Tesla, because for not a lot of money, you can really change the look of your car. And what's also nice about these particular wheel covers from Test Plus is that they're actually an inch bigger in diameter than the actual wheel underneath. So unlike the Tesla wheel covers that come just short of the edge of the wheels, these actually go beyond it, giving you additional protection so you're not scuffing up the actual wheel underneath. These are under 200 bucks. There's a number of styles today that look really good compared to what they were just 2 years ago. I personally like the arachnid look. These look great on both the Model Y and on the Model 3. Another thing that you might want to really consider, especially if you have a Model Y, is a door seal kit. I've actually put this on both of my Model Ys, and the reason is I had this buffeting sound, and it helped to lead me to believe that there was some area where air wasn't completely sealed off from the liftgate, and that ended up being the case. And by adding this, the buffeting went away, but also road noise went down, so it can actually add a bit of noise protection. This will still give you just a little bit more soundproofing inside your Tesla. Another thing that I discovered about a year and a half ago were these tubs that go into the trunk of the Model Y. It goes into these two pockets on the sides. It actually has a lid. This lid allows you to have a completely flat floor in the back, all the way in these cubbies, and still be able to put all your extra stuff, and you can hide away the mess of having straps and all the other stuff into these different pockets separate from the sub trunk itself, and have that nice flat clean look on the back. Another fun kind of hidden accessory is underneath the armrest there's actually this cavity, and in that cavity Spigen makes a cover that you can put on there, and now you have a hidden door, and you can put whatever you want in here, anything that you might want to keep out of reach. Next is under seat storage, and there's actually some newer versions of this. Spigen makes one that I'm actually really interested in. I'll probably get those next, but I have this fabric one that I've been using for the last couple of years. It's come in handy. It's pretty nice to have this extra spot underneath the seats, out of sight, out of mind. But you can put some things down here, add additional storage, and it doesn't really take away any of the space inside of your car. Phone holders in this car. I have probably had 15 different phone holders, and I cannot ever make up my mind. However, I did finally find one that I really liked, and now I have one that I like even more. And this new one is from MagBack. This actually attaches to the corner of the screen, and as long as you're using a MagSafe iPhone, you can actually just magnetically connect it, holds it in place nice and sturdy, and I really like these. Code BTG will save you 15%, I believe, so check those out as well. Now, here's the thing. If you ever go camping, or you just want to be able to get privacy in this vehicle for whatever reason, there are some basic window covers that you can get, and there's nothing wrong with that. However, a couple of years ago, I found some that are not that much thicker, but do add insulation. And although they're getting harder to find these days, I did finally find them from a manufacturer who makes these. There's additional insulation in there, meaning when you're using camp mode, it's going to be a little bit more efficient, a little bit more effective when you have this insulation on the windows. Of course, if you're in the South or you're driving in the summer, really anywhere, having a sunscreen is really nice for the summer months. And I keep this up basically all summer, and it helps to keep the heat down on the inside of the car. Yes, the windows do have some UV protection standard, but this definitely helps with keeping the temperatures a little bit more comfortable on the inside. This next one I actually got about a year ago, and I've really enjoyed having this for a number of reasons. I got two different styles, and one of them was bigger, and then there's this slimmer one right here. Now, something you need to know, these big ones actually come down, in my opinion, too far, and they start to get in the way of your phone if you ever use the phone chargers that are down here. And I don't like that. This thin one has been great, but you can't really get it anymore. However, there is some good news. You can still get the same style from the same company, and this one actually, although it still connects magnetically, making it super easy to install, and you still have the tray on top, this one actually collapses and hides when you're not using it. Super convenient to have that, and I really like that it hides, unlike mine that's always out in the open. So you can put your items in there and then just close it, out of sight, out of mind. Next, it's time to talk about protection. You're going to spend quite a bit of money on this car, and you're going to have a car that's going to last a long time. Why not take care of it in that time also? Of course, that starts with the exterior, and that is PPF. Now look, you can just wax the car, you can just put ceramic coating on it, but that's not going to stop rocks from damaging the paint, and that's what PPF does really well. So PPF from Drive Protected Shop, this is a relatively inexpensive way to do it yourself. And because of the guarantee that Eric now has in place, you can actually get replacement panels if something goes wrong for only paying for additional shipping to have it shipped to you. What's also nice is he has his own learning academy, so when you do purchase a kit, each individual panel is accessible there where he will show you each spot. Of course, I have my own videos just to give you an overview of how you can do this yourself. It is not that bad. It does take some time, but totally worth it considering how much shops charge to wrap these cars. This is a no-brainer, at least to me. Now, once you have that PPF on, and if you don't want to do PPF, ceramic coating is a no-brainer. Let me say something really quick about ceramic coating. If it does not cost over $100, it is not real ceramic. If it comes in a spray bottle, it is not real ceramic. Real ceramic is going to bond to the surface of the car, and it's going to last. What this does is it adds a protective layer and will help from minor scratches, but the big benefit is when it comes time to clean, it really prevents things like bugs from really attaching and grabbing hold. So when you really have to scrub to get things off, this ceramic coating is going to do a great job of helping protect and make the outside of your car look good for years to come. And it is so easy to do yourself. Some shops charge hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars to do ceramic coating. Maybe an hour to apply and then 24 hours to cure, and it's done. It's on there for 3 or more years, and it's going to continue to protect the exterior of your car. Of course, it doesn't make sense to stop on the exterior. We got to go to the inside too. And there's actually a product made that'll help protect the seats. And this product is kind of like a ceramic coating for the seats. It adds a layer of protection. You apply it, it evaporates, and what's left is the actual coating. And it just makes maintaining these seats so much easier. This is not real leather. This is not hard to keep clean. This is just another layer to help make it even easier to keep the seats clean for a long time to come. And then finally, wiper blades. Now, if you're in the South like me, I'm in Florida, I go through wiper blades every 6 months like clockwork. And the good thing is the wiper blades that come on the Model Y and the Model 3 for that matter, they're the same. These wiper blades can be replaced relatively inexpensive, and I just buy these in bulk, so I've always got an extra set in the garage, so I'm ready to go whenever they're ready to go, and it's not that expensive. These are exactly the same as the factory on appearance, so these are the way to go. A lot cheaper and a lot easier than setting up an appointment directly with Tesla. Now it is time for the parents out there like me. If you have kids, here are the 3 things that you must get for your Model 3 and Model Y. First and foremost are seat protectors. And these just go underneath the car seat. And what it does is it's just another layer to keep the Cheerios and the crayons from actually getting on the seat in the first place. It makes this a sacrificial barrier. It does a nice job of keeping the area clean without being bulky. So if you have car seats, you got to get these. It'll take care of your back seat. The next thing that kids are going to absolutely destroy are the seat backs, and that is because they like to kick, put their feet up there, and no matter how many times you try, they're going to keep doing it. So these seat back protectors are not that expensive either, and they're nice because they're easy to keep clean, and it keeps their feet off of the actual seat back in the car. And then finally, the last thing for parents is these iPad holders. These mount directly behind the seat, allows you to put an iPad up there, and you can adjust and pivot it just however you want. They're not that expensive, and they're a no-brainer because you can put an iPad on the seat back of each side. So each kid, they can have their own show on, put their headphones on, and the iPad is right there on the seat back. Plus, the front passenger can easily grab that iPad as needed. So these are the 20 accessories you have to have for the Model 3 and Model Y. Let me know in the comments, did I miss something big here? Is there something that you've gotten that's really changed your ownership experience? Let me know in the comments, let everybody else know, and I can't wait to catch you on the next one.